And while they were here, they always wore masks.
Please, just get the damn vaccine.
I tell you that Kevin Samuel's death, may he rest in peace, his death just scares me. It scares me for a couple of reasons. One, just super personal, is because I'm about his age, right? I'm overweight, but I take medicine and I eat as best as I can. And it took me a long time because I've struggled with my weight my entire life. Okay. It took me a long time to get out of obesity. Like my body just resists everything. I'm not going to talk about exactly what I did to get out of obesity because one, the people that gave me the main tip didn't even want to give it to me because they didn't want to risk getting themselves, I guess, in trouble because they're medical people, even though what they hinted at and didn't directly tell me to do, but dropped major hints at worked. And two, with the stuff that I discovered on my own by Googling on the internet, that I also found out was medically safe. But when I tell people to do that, they always do it wrong, and they end up giving themselves uncontrollable, we'll say, toilet episodes. So that's why I'm not going to tell you, because I'm not authorized to practice medicine. But I will say, if you want a really good medical opinion on this subject, shout out to the Sergeant Willie Pete. If there was anything medically I could say on this topic, he said it. But I know a lot of you may not like Sergeant Willie Pete, but you should really watch his video on the Kevin Samuel situation. I'm going to put a link to that below. I mean, it shows that Sergeant Willie Pete is a doctor in real life, because I think he said everything medically that could be said. So just from a personal / medical standpoint, I'm quite sure if you stood me next to Kevin Samuels, you would swear that Kevin Samuels was a lot healthier than me. But just like Sergeant Willie Pete talks about in his video, the difference between he and I, and please don't think I'm trying to gloat, I'm not. Like I said, this death is very frightening to me. Is that I have to go get checked up. I go get checked up and they watch my numbers and they chastise me when my numbers aren't right. And they adjust my medication. So I'm taking the medicine and I'm eating as best I can. I'm not saying I got it perfect. I know I don't have it perfect. And the martial arts keeps me active. But the martial arts is not enough, in my opinion. I'm going to go into martial arts now a little bit. The martial arts is not enough, in my opinion. I think in addition to your martial arts training, you need to do what I just call straight up cardio. That means that recommended mindless, boring cardio of walking, jogging, running for, an hour a week, broken up in, or however you do it, or 3 hours a week, or whatever they recommend that you need to do for your cardio, do that. Do that, plus do the strength training that they recommend you do per week, and any flexibility training that they recommend you do per week. I think once you get past the black belt level, as soon as they tie a black belt around your waist, your martial arts may not need to be your primary workout anymore. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a doctor. This is just my opinion. I think your body gets used to it, and you need to use it more for like a mental thing or a fun thing or a coordination thing, maybe stability thing, just to blow off some steam, like a mental like type of thing. Unless you're really competing at a super hyper level to where you're going constantly, I think you need to do it for that. I'm using it now for mental tune-up and for fun and for coordination. And if you need a light exercise day, that's where I'm at with it now. When it's like I have days that I call heavy, that's when I do the strength, and what I call the regular cardio. And then on the other days, that's when I do the martial arts stuff. And I've did that for years, and I still ain't look like it. Now, if you looked at I was the type of person. Well, still now, technically, because I'm still overweight by the charts. Yeah, I know I got a big bone structure. Even the doctor says, primary care physician says, but you're big bone, so blah, blah, blah. But, blah, 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 but, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, get out of obesity. Yeah, I know you're big bone, but do this and do that. It's like that all the time. Whenever I go see the primary and the specialist, they say the same thing. It's like, yeah, we know it's hard, but hey, you better do what you can or else. And then they'll bring in those scare stories, just like Sergeant Willie Pete does in his video. So, you know, you can be a martial artist. And I know it's two martial artists. I'm not going to say their names because I don't want people to think I'm trying to talk bad about the dead and all that stuff, because I'm not. I'm really not, y'all. I'm really not. But I'm going to say it was two martial artists that you could say they both look like Kevin Samuels. They both had that lean, slick build. They look sharp in their uniforms. Two cats. And I admired these cats. And I was younger than them at the time of their passing. And they both passed. Well, one of them passed a couple years ago. And well, he's old. He was older than me. But I was there for one of them's heart attack. And it's like, if you were to look at these guys, there is no way in the world you would look at them and think that anything was wrong with them. If you see them moving, you see them doing their techniques, there is no way in the world you would think that anything was wrong with them. I'm telling you, just by the looks at them, it's no way you would think that they had anything going on. But guess what? Heart disease don't care. I would like for us to use this Kevin Samuels death not as a means of, well, he said this about people, he said that about people, he ain't like black women, that's what he get. No, I don't think we need to look at it like that. And also need to think of, well, he was bringing down the heat on them, and that's why they shouldn't be saying anything back, because he was telling the truth. Yeah, he was telling the truth. But the main thing, man, is this is a serious super reminder, man, that you can look fine and still have a heart attack. You can look great and still have a heart attack. You could even be doing things that you would think wouldn't give you a heart attack, that you would think would prevent a heart attack, and still have a heart attack. One guy, one of the two guys that I bring to mind, but they're actually four brothers. Black guys, all were, well, no, three of them were in about the same age range as Kevin when they passed. One was not. But all four of them, if you stood me, especially, I'm not going to brag on myself too much because I do look a lot better now if I do say so myself. But I will say that if you stood me next to them, you sure wouldn't think that my blood work would come back better than theirs. There's no way you would think that. There's no way. There's no way you would think that. But you can look like that. You can be jumping around and kicking and throwing some serious punches, doing them takedowns, all smooth and everything, and teaching people stuff. And you could be in danger of a heart attack. You would think that as much sweat and stuff as people break doing the martial arts, that they wouldn't be in danger of a heart attack. But you can do that, because that's the funny thing about the martial arts. Like your body, it's like your body can adjust to almost anything. That's why you got to do that recommended stuff that they say with X amount of hours of X amount of exercise and the nutrition just to be here. Like, I don't have the I obviously don't have the Hercules black people gene like that. I don't have that. Because I'm telling you, as much as I work out and do stuff, do you think that I would look like somebody like Kevin Samuels? Or you would think that I might even look like an action figure. The only time it ever showed up in the past is when I'm in a tournament and competing against people like that, and I'm holding my own against them. Then it's obvious, oh, he's actually got some pretty good win for a big guy, or he actually moves pretty well for a big guy. Blah 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 blah. When people see me doing stuff for a quote unquote a big guy, that's when you can tell. But not looking at them. And like I said, and on the other side of the coin, like, and I know I'm repeating myself because it just scares me so much. It really does. Well, because see, the more I talk about this, the more people come to mind. So it's four brothers that was in the Kevin Samuel age range, and the one guy that was younger was almost the age that I was. All of them. There is no way, if you looked at those guys, that you would have thought that they'd have went out like that. So I guess the moral of this video is we got to go to the doctor and take our medicine when they tell us to take the medicine. And trust me, man, I don't like taking my medicine either. I don't like it. I don't like doing it. But it helps. And let me say this, because this is starting to get long and I don't want this to get so long. But I'm going to say this, and this is going to sound a little woo-woo. Even though just doing martial arts is not enough, in my opinion, for you to be in optimal health, it was the martial arts that helped me find the condition that I'm doing now, because I was in meditation one day and I saw something wrong in my chi. I didn't know what it was. I bet if I had better internal training and guidance from an internal teacher, I would have been able to interpret what I saw better. But I saw something in my aura. Like I said, it sounds woo-woo, right? I saw something in my aura and it didn't look right. And the area of the body that's affected, my spirit and energy was telling me something was wrong there, but I didn't know what it was. There's a step further I want to go, but I don't want to say it because I don't want somebody to try it instead of going to a doctor. I will say this. The thing I could have done, no, I'm not even going to say that. I don't have time. I knew I didn't have time to try to handle it on my own and not go to a doctor. Then I went and prayed out of my Christian bag of tricks. Looked in the Bible. The version of the Bible that I use has the book of Sirach, which tells you to go to the physician. So I went to the physician and I said, something's wrong in my chi. I thought he would believe me because he's Asian, so I guess I was stereotyping me there. But his Western medical training looked at me behind those glasses like, this Negro crazy. Then I found out he's a specialist with black people, so I think we probably rubbed off on him. So he probably was really thinking this. I almost said it. Didn't say it, YouTube. He probably was going to say this N-word was crazy. But he humored me and did the test. But when he did the test, he found something. And then he said, I can't believe you discovered that, because this is quiet and it really gives off no symptoms. I said, well, the only physical symptom I have is I'm hungry all the time, which I just assumed because I was fat. And I'm a little tired. He said, well, it's a good thing you came in here when you did. And my wife did help too. She was like, you should go to the doctor. Like, something's changed. I don't know what it is, but something's changed. I'm like, no, it's just because I'm fat and want to eat all the time. She's like, no, this is something else. And she said that after I saw the thing in my chi. And I said, well, I did see something in my aura today. And she looked at me like she wanted to say this N-word. It's crazy. So the martial arts and internal training did help me discover it. And they help heal it. I do think that, and the doctor said too, well, I'm glad you like to do that stuff because you're going to have to keep doing it if you want to stay alive. But I also need meds and follow whatever diet that they give me and regular checkups. So whatever they tell you to do for your interval of checkups, you got to do. Because I guess from a martial arts standpoint, since that's where this channel slants, you can't necessarily roundhouse kick your way out of the disease, or just rear naked choke your way out of a disease, or just, throw some uppercuts out of the disease. You got to do that, and you got to do everything else that medicine tells you to do. And watch your stress. And pray. Thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Please share this with people like talk about the martial arts. Rest in power to Kevin Samuels and his family. And oh yeah, if you are happy that Kevin Samuels died, I'm definitely not the martial arts instructor for you. Peace, and as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.